Alrighty, so if you guys have been paying attention to some of the things that I've been saying on this channel as to why I do not like this whole idea that Hollywood is pushing wokeness, it is because wokeness is based on false narrative, false premises, and it gives people a false sense of injustices. And one of the false narrative that it is continuing to push, as far as I know, and as far as we are seeing in Hollywood, is that when you're from a marginalized group, you're incapable of doing bad things. And so you're just a perfect human being if you happen to be black, especially if your politics support the politics that they're pushing. If you're black and gay, you got more infinity stones of wokeness, man. They would love you. If you're a member of the LGBTQ, mwah, bellissimo, you are number one. So the narrative is starting to bite them in the ass as we are starting to see them drop some of these woke directors that we are seeing, and we are getting stories like this. X-Men 97 creator Beau DeMayo fired just before debut. Now, there's a lot of speculations behind why this guy has been fired that I want us to get into. I've got my own speculations as to why this is happening as well. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this story. I'm going to share my opinion as we go along. Feel free to share yours in our comment section below. Now, here we go. Just ahead of the debut of Disney's Marvel TV series, X-Men 97, Disney has fired writer-producer Beau DeMayo, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Yes, Disney has fired this guy, and they were so happy to actually push this guy front and center, pushing his gayness and blackness, out there, allowing him to say a whole lot of things, allowing him to express himself, because Kevin Feige, according to him, hired him so that they can actually see his view be expressed through the X-Men as a gay black man in America. Beau DeMayo also wrote for Moon Knight and contributed to the early drafts of the upcoming Blade movie. That early draft of upcoming Blade movie was shoved aside and was thrown away, which leads to the first speculation that this upcoming X-Men 97 show might just be dead on arrival, might just be a horrible show, as it were. Now, of course, when we first saw the early signs of the show, when people saw the trailer, a lot of people loved the trailer until 24 hours later, the carpet got yanked out of under us and everybody started finding out that the show was woke. And so it hasn't been getting great reviews after that. A lot of people have been, backlash towards it. A lot of people have been speaking up against it, the wokeness and what they've decided to adopt. So maybe that could be one of the key reasons. However, there is another reason why they probably might not want this guy out there, because the abrupt sending off just a week after they've had him talk to people, after they've had him on shows, after they've had him market this thing like, there's no tomorrow. And then firing him just a week. It's just a week away, right, from today. There are speculations going on around that people are starting to say, because this guy has decided to delete some of his social media. Now, of course, him deleting his social media, they were talked about on The Hollywood Reporter. However, The Hollywood Reporter did not mention one particular social media that he deleted that is now leading to some speculations, which is why I am not reading it from The Hollywood Reporter, but more from an independent source, GameSpot. But The Hollywood Reporter said as of last week, Marvel DeMayo ended their relationship. The report said DeMayo's company email was deactivated and his Instagram account was deleted, of which they said that he was really, really active, talking to people about the X-Men 97, talking about all this other stuff, but he has deleted his Instagram account. He has deleted some other accounts. However, there is one account that they didn't talk about him deleting. DeMayo was very active on the Instagram page, and when it was live, responding to fans' questions about X-Men. His OnlyFans appear to have been deleted as well. Now that's what they didn't mention, that his OnlyFans account. Who knew this brother had an OnlyFans account? Of course, this brother who's writing a show for kids has an OnlyFans account, and he's gay and black. So maybe he's doing some nasty shit. I don't know. Allegedly, it could be speculations. I'm not trying to ruin anything. I'm not trying to say. However, if he is, it could make a lot of sense as to why they're firing him. However, that aside, right? That aside, because that's the rumors that's been going around, and I'm only just reporting the rumors, right? Which goes against the narrative. Hence why Hollywood Reporter failed to mention it. Variety failed to mention that he had an OnlyFans account. So it's starting to put some, maybe there's some fire behind that smoke where people are talking about this thing, right? It's starting to, if you're putting your Detective Batman caps on, maybe there's some element of truth to it. I'm not saying there is. Everything is all alleged, but maybe there is. However, that aside, what I am actually seeing from this whole thing is that there is a particular trend that we've been seeing with Disney, particularly now that Disney's stock is the worst that it's been in the last 10 years. It's in the gutters at the moment. It's the worst that we've seen in the last 10 years. And what has happened after 2019? Kevin Feige came to announce all of these shows, and they all happen to be woke. Either they're pushing woke feminist things like the Marvels, or they are pushing some other stuff, you know. And we're having X-Men that is wokeifying it with LGBTQ messaging, using somebody like Rogue as an allegory for the LGBTQ community. Now, here is the thing. Like I've said before, it doesn't fit their narrative if this guy happens to have done some really bad stuff on the interwebs and happens to be the director of a children's show. I think that would be a step too far. I don't think they've gotten to that step yet where they can allow things like this to fly. I think that would be a step too far, and it wouldn't fit the narrative of a black man. Black people can never do bad things, even though we continue to see that we do a whole heap of bad things, but they don't make the national news. Like I saw news recently of 7 boys, black, doing something very horrific to a black woman. At that point in time, she wasn't a black queen anymore, but we're not hearing about it. It's modern day lynching, what they did to this girl, right? However, we're not hearing about it in the mainstream media. No, nobody's talking about it because it doesn't fit the narrative. We're also seeing a video that was floating around of a black girl fighting a white girl. Of course, she knew she could overpower this girl, slams this girl on the ground, and start ramming this girl's head into a pavement. Towards the ending of that video, that young girl on the ground was twitching, which means she's experiencing some sort of brain damage. We're not hearing about it in the mainstream media because it doesn't fit the narrative. It is horrendous what they are doing. Horrible what they are doing. And the community that suffers for this the most are the community that they're claiming that they're doing this thing for. I've always maintained that them defending certain communities, the things that they're defending is always detrimental to those communities. I've said it time and time again. I know people from the LGBTQ community that happen to be wonderful people. They are not activists, but it is the activists that Disney is deciding to hire that is causing this problem. However, the karma is starting to hit them. And now that the karma is starting to hit them, they're doing cleaning up. Guess what? Who are they cleaning out first? They're cleaning out the diversity hires. Nia DaCosta is gone. Osei Kufor is gone. The Jonathan Majors is gone. And now we're getting Beau DeMayo is gone. So it seems that Disney is starting to clean up because the karma for the evil that they're pushing out there is starting to hit them. And I'm all for it. I'm all here to see it. It never is beneficial. Even in 2021, when Biden became the president of America, I hate to go straight politics, he hired a whole bunch of black people. However, a few months later, we started hearing information about Blacksit from the White House. Guess what? Majority of those black people that were hired, they all quit. Do you want to know why? Because they were hired not because of the talent that they had. They were hired because they were black. It never ever helps the people that were hired based on the color of your skin. And what some of them said anonymously was that they were leaving the White House because they were not allowed to actually participate in any form of decision making. They weren't seen as people that were good enough to actually participate in anything productive. They just hired them just to virtual signal, which is what Disney has been doing, hiring to virtual signal to people, and it's starting to bite them in the ass. So I'm all for it. I'm happy about this. Whatever reason it is that they are firing this guy doesn't really matter to me. What really matters is that people start to open their eyes, and people are opening their eyes, hence why Disney is failing. And I hope this is a lesson to a whole lot of people out there. But in any case, you guys, I want to know how you guys feel about this. Do you guys reckon that the speculations are true? Do you guys reckon that this guy has done some nasty business on OnlyFans and it doesn't really fit the narrative, especially being the showrunner of a children's program? Or maybe Disney just fired it because it's not going to be making money for them and they think that, hey, let's just cut our losses right now. It's really abrupt that they fired him the way that they did. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, ding that bell for notification, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care. Peace and Sayas out. Bye-bye.